Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and today I'm doing a mod spotlight on a mod called Additional Pipes. This is a mod created by Zeldo and it adds several pipes to the existing mod for Minecraft called Buildcraft. This basically expands some of the functionality of Buildcraft and adds some really cool and some really interesting pipes. I definitely recommend, if you're a fan of Buildcraft, checking these out. Without further ado, let's get started. So I've set up some test systems here. You can see in the background I have a quarry, and I have a bunch of example systems here set up where I'm going to feature each one of Zeldo's pipes. So the first one I'm going to show you is the item teleport pipe. So we open this guy up and we put some cobblestone in the chest. You can see the standard Buildcraft functionality is that the wooden engine here will pump the cobblestone out of the chest and send it along this pipe. However, one of the things is, if you want to send items a very long distance, it takes a very long time to build this piping system. I've personally built piping systems that span several chunks across a map, and it took me a good 45 minutes to build them. And then, of course, it creates a lot of lag because there's a lot of updates and a lot of things that need to happen. So Zeldo gave us this first pipe, the teleport pipe. It's made using 2 diamond gears, which require 4 diamonds each, so it's an expensive pipe to make, but it's the item teleport pipe. And this teleport pipe is actually really cool. We can basically knock off a big chunk of our system here and set them up like so. If you right click on the teleport pipe, you can choose a frequency. So let's say frequency 2. I'm just making this up. And the other setting here is whether or not this pipe can receive items on this frequency. Right now it's set to false because I don't want items coming into this system. I want this pipe to only send items, so receive is set to false. This pipe I will set to can receive true, and the same frequency too. So now these 2 pipes are on the same frequency, and if we drop items in this chest, they will magically be teleported from one pipe to the other. Let's watch that happen. And there we go. So there's no distance limitation on these, and they'll pretty much span as far as you want them to. You could go all the way across your map. You can have a very long distance. One other nice feature that Zeldo included in his teleport pipe feature is something called a chunk loader. People who aren't familiar with Buildcraft might not know this, but the way Buildcraft works is when you first enter the game, it only loads the part of the world directly around you that you can see. The other parts of the world that are farther away do not get loaded into memory, and therefore nothing is happening in them. This works great for the standard Minecraft game because nothing's really going to happen if the player's not there. However, with Buildcraft and Industrial Craft and some of these other mods that automate things, it definitely causes a hindrance because the chunks aren't loaded, so things will no longer run. If these 2 teleport pipes were in chunks that weren't loaded, they wouldn't function properly. So Zeldo added a chunk loader that forces these chunks to load. It's very cool. The next item to feature is the liquid teleport pipe. This pretty much works exactly like the regular teleport pipe. So why don't I give myself some liquid here and place this liquid inside the tanks that you can see directly in front of me. With a normal piping system, the liquid would get transported along the piping system just as shown. This works for water, oil, and lava. Zeldo gave us a teleport pipe for water, and just like the system that Space Toad created for Buildcraft, you need to get these pipe waterproof items, which are made from cactus dye, and just place them on top of your item teleport pipe to get a waterproof teleport pipe. And the exact same functionality. We can place the water teleport pipe and the waterproof teleport pipe there. And these frequencies do operate differently than the standard teleport pipe, so you can share frequencies. I can set this to 2 again. This guy I do not want to receive. This guy I'll set to 2, and he can receive. And now, if I go ahead and give myself some more water, you'll watch as it magically teleports from one side of the area to the other. So the same basic concept, only this works with water. And finally, of course, we have the energy teleport pipe. Anybody who's using the latest version of Buildcraft knows that Space Toad added some power pipes that can distribute power from your engines. So why don't we head over to a system that I designed to demo this. You can see here the energy teleport system. Right now I've got it wired up with some golden energy pipes that's standard in Buildcraft, connected to these engines. And what's going to happen is these engines are going to create energy and they're going to be transported along the line to this quarry. So if I go ahead and flip the switch, you can see the energy transferring through the pipes and the quarry activates. And all the engines are producing the energy. We can go ahead and knock off these pipes now. We don't need them anymore, thanks to Zeldo and his mod. And I'm going to go ahead and place down this frequency again. I can use two. The frequencies are not shared among the pipes. And we want the receiving to be false. We only want this system to transmit energy. So frequency 2, receive false. And I'll place down here frequency 2, receive true. You can see a lot of energy was created earlier, but that's okay. This will stop in a moment. Okay, the surplus energy from a moment ago wore off, so why don't I flip the switch again? And we can see the energy flowing into the teleport pipe and arriving at the quarry. And the quarry is once again processing. So with this mod, you can set up a big underground system where you generate all your energy and have a quarry half a map away, and it will power the quarry without having to run a long set of cables. So that is the energy teleport pipe. The next pipe that Zeldo added for us is the distribution pipe. Anybody who's familiar with Buildcraft knows that when you have a pipe junction shown here, the items will travel through this pipe in a random direction. Basically, if we watch as things come through here, some will go straight, some would go left, some would go right, and it's totally random. And there's no easy way to force this to easily distribute evenly between the three systems here. So if we watch for a moment, you'll see things kind of going in random directions. So it went left, it went right again, totally random, and there's no good way to force items to go evenly from one system to the next. So what Zeldo gave us is the distribution pipe, which is created as shown. With 2 iron bars and a piece of redstone at the top, we get the distribution transport pipe. What this pipe will do is every time an item travels through it, it will force the next item to go in the next direction. So let's place this guy down here. And you can see it also has an interface similar to the diamond pipe. And what you can do is you can force it to determine how many items go in each direction. So for example, the green direction, right now everything's split up evenly, 1 for 1 for 1. What we can do is we can set the green direction so that 3 items go green, then 1 blue, then 1 yellow, and then 3 green again. We also have this blue direction here. The way to resolve making sure that items do not come back out is to use a wooden pipe. Standard wooden transport pipe from Buildcraft. This will ensure items do not come back out the blue direction. So let's keep it as a 1 for 1 now, and I'm going to clear out these chests. You can see there was a totally random amount of items in there. And let's put the cobblestone back in. If we watch carefully, we should be able to see that the cobblestone is being evenly distributed among each of the systems. And this guarantees an even distribution, unless of course you tell it that you want more items to go green. Let's do that now. And we can see it sends 3 items in the green direction, then 1 yellow, 1 blue, and then 3 green again. So it gives you a lot of control over how your items are distributed in a junction like this. The next pipe in this mod is the advanced wooden pipe. Standard wooden pipes in Buildcraft will simply pump everything out of their chest, regardless of what it is, and it makes no distinction between different items. So we can place all the things we want in there, and it's just going to pump everything out. However, Zeldo added a pipe for us that gives us an interface for determining which items get pumped out and which ones do not. Let's craft it now. Your standard build craft pipe is made with 2 pieces of wood and a piece of glass, and if you place a piece of redstone on top, you get the advanced wooden transport pipe. The advanced wooden transport pipe has an interface on it. When you right-click on your interface, you can see there's a filter bar, which can accept items, and there's a setting here. These items are required, these items are excluded. So, let's demo the items are required system first. Let's place stone and redstone in the items are required box. Now, if we place some glass and some wood in the system, you'll see that they are not exported through the wooden piping. However, if we place redstone and stone, they are exported. So that these items are required will only export items in the list. If we reverse that and say these items are excluded, it does the opposite. It will not export stone or redstone, but it will export everything else, regardless of what it is. And the redstone and stone will remain untouched and left in the chest. That's the advanced wooden pipe. Finally, we have the advanced insertion pipe. Sometimes when you have a chest that's almost full, and you try and pump items into it, it will try and put the items in the chest before it fills up, and it will cause an overflow and some items to get spilled. Let's demo that now. As you can see, the items are heading into the chest, but sometimes they head off to the left, and sometimes they go in, and sometimes they land on the ground. What the advanced insertion pipe does for us is force the items into the chest if there's room, and if there's not, it will only send it out the output. So let's demo that now by taking 2 pieces of smooth stone, a piece of glass, and a piece of redstone. Advanced insertion pipe. Now, if there's room for the items in the chest, it will go into the chest, guaranteed. If there's not room, it will head off into the overflow system and head back to the original chest, guaranteed. So instead of a random distribution heading in and out, it's always going to send the items into the chest. Once the chest is full, it will guarantee that the items will head out this direction and back into the input. Now that I've made room again, the items will always go into the chest. That's how the advanced insertion pipe works. This is similar to another mod that added an insertion pipe. However, that insertion pipe added the items to the chest too slowly, and we'd often get overflows. The advanced insertion pipe guarantees that the items will always go into the chest or not, and they will never overflow onto the ground. So this wraps up the mod spotlight for Zeldo's additional pipes. I hope you guys have enjoyed checking them out. I definitely recommend you downloading his mod. It's a really well done mod, and it really adds a lot of functionality to Buildcraft. Take it easy, everybody.